going to be next. Cuba's going to be.
In what way?
Cuba's a mess.
Well, this is going to be a very interesting week. We're potentially looking at oil skyrocketing to $120, $150 per barrel, and maybe even hitting somewhere in or around $200 a barrel very, very soon. But before that happens, President Trump just had a press gaggle on Air Force One, and he sets the record on a lot of things, also gives a massive update on the ballroom and all of that stuff. More importantly, his stance on the Strait of Hormuz, soon to be renamed the Strait of Trump, and what is actually happening. So I hope you enjoy this video, because this is all the information you're going to need heading into this week. All I ask in return is for you guys to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into it.
Caught off guard when the Senate passed the DHS funding bill.
It's a shame. They should really just go to a filibuster. They should terminate the filibuster.
And will you compare?
And they should vote. That's what I think. Look, I think the Senate is playing it too soft. The Republicans are wonderful people, but we're dealing with very sick individuals. The Democrats are sick. There's something wrong. They're like terrorists, and we have to protect our country. We have to protect our border. We have to protect our wall. If it was up to them, they'd open up the wall. They'd let millions of people pour into our country again, and we've all been through that. And I don't care if you're liberal or you're conservative. What we have now is we have a beautiful closed border. We're getting murderers out of our country that Biden let in, the administration, the Democrats. We're getting the drug lords out of our country. We're bringing them back to other countries where they came from all over the world. We have great crime numbers despite the fact that they let in 25 million people. And we're focused on the bad ones. I mean, the ones that came in, we'll work on something, but we have to get the killers out. We have to get the drug dealers out. We have to get the criminally insane. We have people that are criminally insane. They are unbelievably violent people that come out of insane asylums. The Democrats want them protected. I want them out. They have to be
Would you
out.
sign a DHS deal
You
without
can't have a
ICE?
country if they're here.
Would you sign a DHS deal without ICE funding in it?
ICE is vital to the well-being of our country. ICE, first of all, they're great patriots, but they are physically and mentally very strong people. And they are able to protect us from the animals that have been sent in, allowed to be sent in by the Biden administration, where you have people, jails were prisons from Venezuela, from the Congo, from all over the world, from every continent. They were allowed to come into our country, totally unchecked, totally unvetted. You can't have a soft, weak, sad person deal with this. You need strong people. Now, they love our country. They're very brave. They're very strong, like some of these guys. But you have to have these people removed or you don't have a country. So we had the best crime numbers that we've had, murder numbers, the best in 125 years. Think of it. Since the year 1900, before my father was born by a lot, we have the best crime numbers. And we're going to keep it that way. And that's despite the fact that so many criminals were allowed into our country. So we need ICE, we need Border Patrol. The last thing you people want to see is our country overrun again by criminals. And that's not going to happen. We're not going to let that happen. And by the way, our country doesn't want that.
Then you got to hear what President Trump has to say about Cuba, because Cuba is a mess, and Cuba is actually next. First, it was Venezuela, then it was Iran, the Strait of Hormuz, and then it's going to be Cuba. Here's what he had to say.
President, on Friday you mentioned that Cuba will be next. What did you mean by that exactly?
And who will be next?
Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba's going to be next. Cuba's going to be.
In what way?
Cuba's a mess. It's a failing country, and they're going to be next. Within a short period of time, it's going to fail. And we will be there to help it out. We'll be there to help our great Cuban Americans out who were thrown out of Cuba. In many cases, their family members were mutilated and killed by Castro. No, Cuba's going to be next, yeah.
Then, of course, there's the news of Russia sending in an entire oil tanker to Cuba, and President Trump literally allowing it earlier today. The press is trying to paint this as, you know, whoa, it's you teaming up with Putin. But the reality is, well, have a listen to what Trump has to say about it.
Full confidence in Tulsi Gabbard, sir.
Yeah, sure. Follow up. I mean, she's a little bit different in her thought process than me, but that doesn't make somebody not available to serve.
Is she on the same page
I
as
would
you?
say that I'm very strong on the fact that I don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Because if they had a nuclear weapon, they'd use it immediately. I think she's probably a little bit softer on that issue, but that's okay. Some people are. Most people aren't. Most people are saying thank you very much for doing what you did. They are decimated right now. They're going to give up nuclear weapons. They're going to give us the nuclear dust. They're going to do everything that we want to do. And you know what? They're going to go on and maybe have a great country again. But if they don't do that, they're not going to have a country. They're not even going to have a country. So she's softer on that issue, but I have other people, not too many. That's an issue that we've had great support. You saw the CNN poll where Trump with MAGA, and I think MAGA is most of the Republican Party, is 100% approval. In fact, the young gentleman that does the poll was very good, actually, because he's honest. He said, I've never seen 100% before. I'm 100% in the CNN poll, which just came out. Thank you very much, everybody.
One more thing on
President
Cuba.
War?
There's a report that the U.S. is going to let a Russian oil tanker go to Cuba. Is that true?
Well, we have a tanker out there. We don't mind having somebody get a boatload because they have to survive. It
So
wouldn't bother
that
me.
report is true as far as you know?
Well, I would say, I told them, if a country wants to send some oil into Cuba right now, I have no problem with it.
Do you worry that helps
Whether it's Russia or not, what?
Do you worry that helps Vladimir Putin though?
Doesn't help him. Like, he loses one boatload of oil. That's all it is. It's fine.
President-
If he wants to do that, and if other countries want to do it, it doesn't bother me much. It's not going to have an impact. Cuba's finished. They have a bad regime. They have very bad and corrupt leadership. And whether or not they get a boat of oil, it's not going to matter. I'd prefer letting it in, whether it's Russia or anybody else, because the people need heat and cooling and all of the other things that you need. Go ahead.
No, the issue of the Strait of Hormuz and Iran control of it and charging tolls, what do you think about that?
Well, I have to find out if it's true. I mean, you know, they're going to do whatever they have to do. We could close that up in 2 minutes. We could close that up so fast your head would spin.
And then we got to talk about the amount of countries that are or aren't helping President Trump with the situation in Iran, especially NATO. But let's listen to what the president has to say to answer this question.
Do you want to see Gulf countries that are being attacked by Iran to start to fight back?
They are fighting back. Saudi Arabia is fighting back hard. Qatar is fighting back. UAE is fighting back. Kuwait's fighting back. Bahrain is fighting back. They're all fighting back. Actually, they were surprised to be hit. I was very surprised they got hit. And once they got hit, they started fighting very well. We're very strong communications with all of those countries, and they've all been fighting. They're 100% on our side.
How long can you pay
getting
TSA
involved
workers
in
for?
war?
How long can you pay TSA workers for from the One Big Beautiful Bill?
Well, we're going to pay them for as long as we have to, and I will tell you, the ICE workers have been amazing, and that's helping people with their bags. It's very interesting. We put ICE there, and ICE got a very unfair press. They're doing an amazing job getting hardened criminals, murderers. 11,888 murders were allowed to come into our country through Biden, and ICE has been amazing. Now, we said, give us a little hand during this period of time, because this is caused by Democrat terrorists. These people are sick. They don't care about our country. They don't care about people. But what it's all about really is they want to have open borders, and they want to have criminals come into our country so they get more votes, because they're losing votes fast. Look at how I did with the Hispanic population. And now I'm doing even better with the Hispanic population. And that's bad for them. They always had it. Now they don't have it anymore. These are people that want our country to fail, and the voters see that. Thank you very much.
Let me know down in the comments what you think is going to happen next for countries that President Trump is calling upon to help with the situation, and the countries that are being called upon who aren't actually doing anything. For one, I think it's absolutely going to lead to some sort of tariffs and really bad trade deals in the future, but that's just me. And finally, to wrap up this video, we're going to take a look at President Trump talking about the ballroom, but more importantly, what's under the ballroom. So stick around to the end of the clip.
I did something today. We just got these in from the architects. A lot of people are talking about how beautiful the ballroom is. For 150 years, they've wanted to build a ballroom at the White House. And other presidents have wanted it. When we have dignitaries coming like President Xi of China or anybody else, we have very small rooms. They're not big enough to handle the kind of capacity that you need. And this is the same height as the White House. It's an incredible fitting. You see what that is, right? Nice. I'll show you. Here's another view. This is coming from right opposite the Treasury building. Beautiful Capitol. Beautiful building. One of the, I think it'll be the finest ballroom of its kind anywhere in the world. A lot of people are giving it really good reviews. Some are giving it reviews without even seeing the building, because this just came out today. These pictures were just made today. We got rid of, quite a while ago, the stairs on the south side, and it's become really beautiful. But it matches and fits the White House. It's also capable of handling the inauguration. We have all bulletproof glass. We have drone-proof roofs, ceilings, everything's drone-proof and bulletproof. And unfortunately, we're living in an age where that's a good thing. And this is the view from the Treasury, opposite the Treasury. Let me see another one of them. Here's a view on the south with the porch, which is a porch, and it's also a fire stair, basically leading down to the grounds. And that porch will be magnificent, looking in between the columns. And they no longer, we took the stairs out that were on the south side and really replaced them with these stairs. So you have an open porch and you have the closed porch under the columns, overlooking the Washington Monument, the Jefferson Memorial, and the Lincoln Memorial / Monument. So that's great. This is a view of the columns as they are going to be made. They're going to be hand carved and they're beautiful. Top of the line, they'll be Corinthian, which is considered the best, most beautiful by far. Timeline, so we're ahead of schedule and under budget. And all of this money, all of the money paid are paid by myself and donors. It's all donors. There's not one dime of government money going into the ballroom. Now the military is building a big complex under the ballroom, which has come out recently because of a stupid lawsuit that was filed. But the military is building a massive complex under the ballroom, and that's under construction, and we're doing very well. So we're ahead of schedule. That's part of it. And the ballroom essentially becomes a shed for what's being built under the military, including from drones and including from any other thing. The glass on the windows, you see the big windows, the glass is extremely thick. It's high-grade bulletproof glass, so all of the windows are bulletproof. I think the Times wrote, gee, some of the windows are fake. We have no fake windows. They said, they talked about a stairway in the south. We don't have a stairway in the south. That was replaced a long time ago. But this is a view of it from the north, and that's, if you see it, it fits in with the White House. It's almost a twin to the White House. It's something we just wanted to pay tribute to the White House. And so that fits in beautifully. Let me just see another one. Here's another one. Excuse me, wait. I thought I'd do this now because it's easier. I'm so busy that I don't have time to do this. But I'm fighting wars and other things. But this is very important because this is going to be with us for a long time, and it's going to be, I think it'll be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. It's its highest level. Same height, exact height, if not higher, same height as the White House, exactly the same height. And if you look, you have the White House over here, you have this, and that's a duplicate of the wall, so it pays total homage to the White House, which is, I think, very important.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, does conclude the video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This week is going to be one where you're going to want to fasten your seatbelts and buckle in because, well, I think we're taking a look at oil hitting big time records, and it's going to probably surprise a lot of people. But hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in another video later tomorrow. Bye for now.